Hello Nordangus students and welcome to tutorial 9 of programming using Scratch, where we'll focus on lists and we'll be looking how we can use lists to store and retrieve information. This could be for having a high score table on your computer game. So let's have a look at Scratch to see how we can use lists. Well, on here we have, on the variables section, we have variables where you can store values, but also just under there's one that says lists. And lists are very similar to variables. The difference is a list can hold more than one item. So if I create a list, and I will call it shopping list, and we have got a load more blocks I can choose. So I can add to a list, delete to a list, delete all, insert, replace. I can find out the length of that list. I can show it, or I can hide that list. So let's have a go. Let's create a shopping list, and then we will read through our shopping list. So we're going to say, we're going to go shopping. So let's go shopping. And then let's add some items to our list. So we're going to add 5 items to our list. So we just drag these up, each one, and we can then put the name of these items in the list. So I could say bananas, I could say apples, I could say oranges, I could say, we can say cheese, and I could say crisps. So we have 5 items on the list, and if I run this, they will all appear on the list like so, on that side there. If I play again, what will happen is they'll keep adding to the bottom every time. So when we start, when we initialize our program, we need to run a short command here that will delete. So we've got delete 1, we don't want to delete, but we want to delete all from that list. So if I start this now, the whole list empties and then it'll add. If I start again, it empties and then it adds. It won't mean you have lots and lots. And I want to then go through this list and keep reading through it. So I need to do what's called a repeat until, and I want to check the length of our list. So I want to say repeat until the length. That won't fit in, okay? It's not the right shape. So I need to use a comparison block. So I say repeat until the length of the shopping list is 0. And then I will then be able to go to say here, I have got and we'll change that to 1 second, and we'll then say one here, and we'll say the first item on the list. So we'll say that first item on the list. And now, of course, it will go through, so it'll do the first item on the list and it'll keep repeating. So when it's done the first item, then we want to remove it, and we want to then, the next item will be apple. So then we want to delete the first item. And then finally, we want to say, when it's finished, we just want to say all finished, and we do that outside that list. So I can say all finished. So if I play this and run it, it adds, and it will then go through that list. At the moment, we've got a mistake. It says repeat until the length of the list is greater than 0. Of course, the length of the list is greater than 0. So we want to change that from being greater than to being equals. So you can see the difference when something happens, that how these comparison blocks can change. So if I play this time, it'll add, and it says I've got the bananas, I've got the apples, and it keeps going through the list that we have. And that's a very simple way of doing our list. We can also while we're going through this list, we can see, is there an item in that list? So are we looking for a name or an object? And we can use the control, and we can use the if, for example. And we can then say if the item is equals to something. So we can choose if item 1. So we're looking for item 1 here is equals to bananas. Then we want to basically say nom, nom, nom. 1 second. So if I press play, let's go shopping. I've got the bananas, nom, nom, nom. I've got the apples, but it doesn't do it because it said if that condition is met in terms of bananas. So we've added an extra bit there. So now for your challenge, which is going to be checking inventory. I will show you the demo first, and then we'll go through what you need to do. Over here, I will click play, and I have 3 characters on the screen. We have our knight, we have our girl, and we have a wand, and we have an inventory. I can move the girl around with our up, down, left, and right. And our knight is telling us he cannot fight us until I have a wand. I've just found my wand, like so. And so this is what I want you to do. I want you to work through the instructions on here using the code that's selected. So number 1, get the girl to move around the keyboard, move around the screen using the keyboard arrow buttons. Number 2, when the girl starts, add a silly hat and a gown to the girl's inventory using these ones. Set up the wand so that when it touches the girl, it is added to the inventory list and the hide block is used. And then sets the knight up so he waits until the girl has a wand, then he changes what he says to the girl. Good luck, Nordangus students, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.